So we're going to talk about organizing topics in Google Classroom. So Google Classroom now has some really neat ways that we can get organized, and I think an organized virtual classroom is helpful for students just as much as you would help them organize their desks and their backpacks and their supplies. This is going to be really super helpful if you present your virtual classroom in an organized fashion. So one of the things that Google has done is they make things drag and drop easy, which is great for us. So this is when I get into Google Classroom, this is what it looks like for me. I happen to have 8 classes here right now. If I wanted to see all of my classes, I can click on those lines and I can look down. I can even get to my archived classes. So ones that I've stuck in archive because they're old. I can look back at them if I want. But how I rearrange these guys is I just click not on the link because the link would actually open it, and I just drag and drop. And so like for the 6th grade, okay, that's a great one, but I'm more helping out if they need something. So I'm going to drag that down lower so it's in the order that I want it to be in. And those drag and drop features are also available inside as well for organizing. And don't forget, for the ones where I'm a student in the class or when I'm a teacher, it'll tell when work is due. And I can link right into it. So that's pretty helpful. But let me go into this class. And remember, we do not want to direct kids to the stream. So the stream is definitely where they go, and our most recent stuff is posted at the top. But it's not organized. It's not the best method for the students. So we want to get them into the habit of going right to the classwork page. And the classwork page is great because we can add topics. And so that nice create button, just like Google has a big plus whenever you can add something, they did the same thing in Google Classroom. So I can click there and I can add topics. And those topics are here on the side. Also, when I'm adding an assignment, I can add a topic that way too. So let's just say I was going to add an assignment, and let's say I wanted to do App Inventor Week 3. I have that there, and right now I'm not really sure what's going inside of it. So I don't have a topic right now for week 3. So I have App Inventor week 1 and App Inventor week 2. So I can create a topic and I can just say App Inventor week 3. And so I'm going to call it More Paint Pot because we're going to do more with our painting program. And so maybe this one's going to be, they're going to add more buttons and variables. And it helps if I spell it correctly. Okay, so I have that in there so you could see how I could add the topic there to the side. And let's see, for the grade category, so this is a feature that I hadn't been using because I didn't have categories, but I get to decide exactly what category this goes into. And so this is going to be a project because they're building an app. And this is going to go out to all of my students, and let's say I'm just going to make that 10 points. So now that is set, I would obviously add files to it. So if I had, a Google Drive file, if I linked to something like on the web, I could put that in there. If I was linking to YouTube, I could put all of that stuff in there. And I could create something right now by hitting that create button. But I'm just going to, because we're focusing on organizing, I just want to post something out there so you can see it. So where did that go? Well, it went down here at the bottom. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me because I want the things that the kids are working on to be at the top. So I don't want them to have to scroll down. I want their newer things at the top. So all I have to do is click on this and I can drag it up. And if I get tired, I can let go. And then I can do it again. So I don't have to do the dragging all at once. Some people are very adept at it. I am not very adept at it. And so that's how I drag. And then you can see that it moved things that you probably can't see as easily because I probably should have put like week 3 in front so you could see that, because you can see it cuts off the edges. So I'm looking at that now. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done it that way. So maybe I'm going to switch, I'm going to rename it, and I'm going to put the week 3 first. Maybe I'll just say week 3, there we go. see if that's better. I do think that that's a little bit better because then at least I can see on the side what they are. Before it wasn't that great. So you can see because I clicked on that link, I'm only going to see things that are for week 3 App Inventor. So if I click on my assessments, I actually have 2 things there. So you can see I'd have to scroll because I have 2 things. So if you have multiple things underneath, so these are again longer items, and so you might have to scroll, or I can click back and go on all topics. So if I want to order the topics that are here on the side, I'm going to click and drag to move them around. I always want my meeting link to be at the top, and then I want what the kids are working on. So that way they'll always see when they come right to the page and they don't have to scroll to the bottom. But all the stuff is accessible to them and they can click that way. And if you put them in categories that make sense, the kids are going to be like, oh, it was an assessment we did. So they'll know, like, they'll just click here and they'll figure out which one they wanted to look at. And then this is obviously the teacher view, but it's going to work the same way for the student.